Hello everyone, I'm Tony Bird, Superintendent Summit School District, and we're starting a new series of giving you quick updates on each board meeting soon after that meeting. So this last meeting, we had really three big topics. There were more than that, but the three big ones. One, we recognize all of our office staff, and we want to thank them for their dedicated hard work in our system, and that's part of our monthly spotlight, so thank you to them. Okay, and I want to make sure you know a couple of things about what's called an H series and how we got to that for that night in the board meeting. So back in August, I was approached by our support staff and representatives from SCEA, that's the local teachers union, and CEA, the State Teachers Association broader group, to discuss an interest they have in unionizing as a support staff. And as part of SCEA. So we had some meetings around that, and then the board directed me, because we didn't have anything in place actually, about to create what's called H-series policies, so that if a group wants to organize and become a new union, we would have policies in place. So we did hear from people when they saw the draft of the policy 2 days before the board meeting that there were concerns about tenor and tone, and some concerns about elements within it. 125 people came to the meeting, 17 people spoke and expressed those concerns, and I would say that our board did a really nice job of listening, and coming out of that meeting directed me to come back next time with a draft, which will be November 6th, for his first reading at a board meeting that would reflect some of the input that we heard from the community. And so looking forward to doing that. That'll happen on November 6th. If the timeline continues as planned, we should have the second reading on November 19th, and then that policy will be in place. That said, it could take a little longer depending on the amount of input. Lastly, we had a big conversation, or a fairly big conversation, about enrollment. In the state of Colorado right now, student enrollment is down across 90% of the school districts. And we're one of those. Our enrollment is down 35 to 40 students, which is significant for us. And we are trying to uncover why that might be. We know birth rates are down in Colorado. We also know some students have left the community, and we're trying to understand why that is. But that is, I want you to know, very common across the state. So the net impact of that is a loss of funds at the number of students times $12,000. So you just take 35 times 12 and you'll get that number, or 40 times 12. And so we're finalizing that financial loss. That does sit in the context of more and more funding challenges for public schools in Colorado. And so the combination of declining enrollment and also cuts in federal funding to the state that end up then cutting funding to us, and the lack of a strong investment in public schools per pupil in Colorado makes for pretty much a perfect storm that we'll be navigating. Related in a way, I want to make sure you know we have a master planning process in place. We discussed to some degree at the board meeting, but not significantly. And the group has already had its first meeting, and then the next meeting, and there'll be one or two more after that. Those meetings are looking at all the facility implications and what it means as well when you have declining enrollment in terms of how we manage our facilities. And we hope we can see you or hear from you. Our next board meeting is November 6th at 5 p.m. and usually lasts till about 8 or 9 p.m. And I would let you know that you can also find the meeting agenda, notes, minutes, and recordings at summitk12.org. Hopefully you will follow us, and we look forward to hearing from you. Have a good day.